A Vornak-class cruiser, stripped of weapons but space-worthy. My government, in a gesture of goodwill, offers it at scrap price, 10 million credits.
We accept. Transfer the funds.
Credits flowed across the coalition network. Krelvox's 4 eyes gleamed as the humans paid in full. They didn't even haggle.
They think they bought a warship. In reality, they tow away a textbook, a text written in a language they'll never learn.
The last laugh drifted from the Vornak dock, its hull a scarred relic of a forgotten war, missing half its armor plates. Tanaka departed without ceremony, leaving Krelvox alone in the silence of his opulent chamber.
400 years of Vornak engineering, and they expect to reverse engineer it with their primitive tools. They'll spend a decade decoding the power conduit alone. To think they paid credits, actual credits, for a monument to their own foolishness.
The last laugh shrank from view, a dark silhouette against the stars, as human tugs hauled it toward a system that would soon rewrite its legacy.
Let them try. It'll be the best entertainment the galaxy has seen in cycles.
3 standard cycles later, the last laugh hung motionless in Lunar Dry Dock 7, floodlights carving its broken silhouette against the cold void.
So this is the joke the galaxy sold us. Looks like it's been through a dozen battles and lost everyone.
I've run preliminary scans. The power grid is a nightmare. Vornak components I can't even identify. Are we really supposed to reverse engineer this?
That's exactly why. They think we're too primitive. That arrogance is the crack we'll use to break it open. Every component says, you can't. Challenge accepted.
Stephen's team, the best engineers Earth had, swarmed the derelict, drones mapping the hull while salvage crews cut access hatches.
Maria, focus on the FTL core housing. I want every anomalous reading flagged. If it's inefficient, we'll find it.
You really think we can improve on 4 centuries of Vornak design? They've been spacefaring since our ancestors were banging rocks together.
4 centuries of design inertia. No competition. We've been iterating under pressure for centuries. Innovation is what we do.
The dry dock echoed with the shriek of cutting torches and the hum of analysis drones. The reverse engineering had begun. Days blurred into weeks. Stephen's team dissected the Vornak cruiser layer by layer, cataloging every circuit, every weld.
I've traced the FTL power coupling. It uses a 6-stage buffer when 2 would suffice. The energy bleed is nearly 15%.
And they call this optimized. We'll cut that buffer in half and redirect the saved power to shields. Every system reveals a new layer of arrogance. They never questioned their own design.
The engineering team documented the first of what would become a long list, flaws born from centuries of unchallenged doctrine.
I was wrong. This isn't an ancient masterpiece, it's a monument to complacency.
That's the difference. We refine because we have to. They settled because they could.
12-hour shifts became the norm. The dry dock thrummed as the team transitioned from mapping to reimagining.
Calloway, I hope you are not just taking this apart. I need a timetable for a working prototype.
You'll have a design that outperforms the original, Admiral. I stake my career on it.
In the months that followed, the list of Vornak design flaws grew from a handful of curiosities to an indictment of centuries of stagnation.
We've cataloged 47 separate inefficiencies, each one a failure point they simply accepted. The targeting computer alone is 3 times bulkier than our consumer-grade equivalent.
47. And we haven't even finished the propulsion analysis. They handed us the keys to their kingdom and never imagined we could pick the lock.
The dry dock became a city of scaffolding and light as the team began fabricating the first redesigned components. Smaller, lighter, more powerful.
Calloway, I am seeing progress, but the Coalition has noticed our activity. Questions are being asked. Can you give me a ship?
Not just a ship, Admiral. A fleet. Give me 18 more months, and you'll have a prototype that makes their best look like a museum piece.
Tanaka studied the man who had just promised to outbuild a civilization 4 centuries older than his own species.
18 months. Don't make me a liar, Calloway.
As the door closed, the hum of the lab intensified. The countdown had begun.
The new FTL coils test hot. Integration with the Vornak power grid is failing at resonance. We need a different coupling.
It's the alien alloy's thermal expansion. We'll need a composite that handles both their frequencies and ours.
They worked through the night, cycling simulations. The pressure of Tanaka's deadline hung over every decision like a blade.
A human shipyard buzzing with activity. Ha! They're still trying to decipher the airlock sequence. Let them weld scraps together. The joke grows richer by the cycle.
Callaway, the Coalition is sending an inspection team next month. They want to see how we're using their scrap.
Then we'll give them a show. Just keep them away from the prototype hangar.
We aren't ready for a public reveal. The targeting upgrade alone still glitches under full load.
The team redoubled efforts, but the clock was now a physical presence, a countdown, not just for Tanaka, but for the entire galaxy.
If they see what we're building before we're ready, it could start a war.
The Coalition inspection team arrived at Lunar Dry Dock 7, their shuttle gleaming, led by Delegate Nauri, an avian with golden eyes that missed nothing.
Welcome to our salvage operation. As you can see, we're still cataloging the vessel's components.
The Vornak ship was sold as scrap. You seem to be keeping it intact. Why?
Structural analysis for future human designs. We learn by taking things apart without destroying them.
The tour wound through carefully staged sections, the prototype hangar sealed behind blast doors, its contents hidden from Coalition eyes.
If an inspector gets close to that door, we won't just fail, we'll start a war.
After the delegation departed, the lab exhaled in relief, but the reprieve was already under threat.
The humans are as expected, playing with scraps. Yet my subordinate insists their power signatures are anomalous. Anomalous. They're a primitive species. Their power grid is likely designed by committee. Its noise.
He dismissed the report with a wave of his hand. But for the first time, the joke didn't feel quite as funny. The prototype cruiser Endeavor completed its shakedown. Full power to weapons and shields simultaneously. No overload.
Maria, we've just built a ship that puts their entire fleet to shame, and we did it with a third of the material cost.
Light years away, Krell-Vox received an encrypted data burst from his intelligence network.
Another report on their salvage operation. They must have discovered the airlock by now.
The file contained telemetry of the Endeavor's test. The energy signatures unmistakable.
This can't be. A particle beam fired at that frequency would require a stabilizer that doesn't exist outside Vornak Labs, unless they built one themselves.
He pulled up the original bill of sale for the last laugh, a sick feeling coiling in his gut.
Dispatch a stealth probe to their system. I want a tactical analysis of everything they've built.
For the first time in 400 years, a Vornak arms dealer considered the possibility of being outsmarted. The stealth probe swept through the human system, its passive sensors cataloging not one cruiser, but 11 hulls under construction, each radiating energy signatures that defied Vornak physics.
11. They copied the last laugh and improved it. The probe's analysis estimates each hull is 40% more efficient than the original. I must alert the Vornak Council. This is not a salvage operation. It's a military buildup.
The council chamber flickered onto the screen. Ambassador Valex, a slender Vornak diplomat, listened with a bemused smile.
Krell-Vox, the humans are a curiosity, not a threat. They purchased scrap and are now playing with it. This is beneath the Council's attention.
Listen to me. Their prototype outperforms our frontline cruisers. They have 11 hulls. In a year, they could field a fleet.
You sold the junk. You are embarrassed. Do not waste the Council's time with conspiracy theories. Velex out.
So I am the joke now. Then I will see it with my own eyes. Book passage, covertly. I am going to their shipyard.
Light years away, the Endeavor's frame gleamed under dry dock floodlights, the first of a fleet that would soon end centuries of Vornak solitude. Krell-Vox loaded the last of his travel case, his usual swagger replaced by the tight movements of a predator who had suddenly scented a trap.
I built an empire on reading the market. Why did I not read the humans?
His cloaked yacht ghosted past the outer sensor net of the human system, hiding among the debris of a dead moon.
Ancestors, forgive me. They aren't copying us, they're surpassing us.
An alert pinged in the lab. Admiral Tanaka requested immediate briefing.
Callaway, the Coalition just filed a formal complaint. They're calling our shipyard an unauthorized military expansion and threatening sanctions.
Then we accelerate. We move the Tau Ceti review forward. Once they see the fleet, threats won't matter.
We still have 40 hulls in early fabrication. Rushing could mean field failures.
If we don't move, they'll smother us before we're born.
From his hiding place, Krelvox watched the dry dock pulse with frantic energy. 40 cruiser frames now a countdown to a galactic earthquake. The Coalition Council broadcast an emergency decree. Trade sanctions against Earth, effective immediately, citing unlawful military buildup.
They're trying to starve us of materials. We need to adapt. What's your status, Callaway?
Our supply lines are thinning, but we've stockpiled enough for the current hulls. After that, we'll have to cannibalize civilian freighters if necessary.
The Taurian delegation is offering back-channel synthetic polymers if we give them targeting tech. A risk, but it could buy us months.
Aboard the cloaked yacht, Krelvox watched the same transmission, his tusks grinding.
Sanctions. The Council thinks they can contain what I've started with trade penalties.
He spotted something else. A small tug slowly towing the original Last Laugh hull toward a newly constructed museum orbiting Titan.
A museum. They're keeping my joke, and they've built a temple to mock me.
With or without the Coalition, Admiral, the fleet will be complete in 6 months. I suggest we set the Tau Ceti review for exactly that date.
As the announcement of the review date echoed across human space, Krelvox shut down his yacht's sensors and began drafting a personal message to the only human who might listen. An encrypted signal, cut through the lab's secure network, tagged with a single identifier. The Last Laugh's original owner requests dialogue.
Krelvox, the arms dealer who sold us the scrap, he wants to talk now.
It could be a trap. The Coalition's looking for any excuse to escalate.
If he refuses, I have nothing. But if he listens, perhaps I can save some shred of my legacy.
Open the channel, but record everything.
Engineer Callaway, I am Krelvox. I sold you the Last Laugh as a joke. It appears the joke has become costly for my people.
Costly? You are facing a navy that learned from your own ship. What do you want, Krelvox?
I want to offer you the Vornak fleet's deployment patterns. In exchange, asylum. My own council has branded me a fool. They won't listen. This is the only way I can prove my worth now, not as a dealer, but as an engineer.
Stephen considered the offer. A Vornak defector could shift the balance faster than any cruiser. The air in the lab crackled with the weight of an irreversible choice. After a tense silence, Stephen gave his answer. Conditional asylum in exchange for full cooperation. The words sealed a defection that would rattle 2 civilizations.
You'll get your asylum, Krelvox. But I want every ship movement, every tactical protocol. If this is a trick, there's no hole deep enough to hide you.
I am many things, engineer, but I am not a fool. The transmission is beginning. You will see the Vornak fleet as clearly as I do. Perhaps more clearly. My name will be a curse on my homeworld. But my knowledge will live.
The data packet unfolded on the lab's holograms, a complete map of Vornak border patrols, fleet rotations, and the defensive gaps no human sensor had ever detected.
Stephen, this is granular. If it's accurate, we could outmaneuver their entire border fleet without firing a shot.
Run every verification protocol we have. Cross-reference with our probe data. I want to know if this is genuine before we breathe a word. He's handing us the keys to his people's kingdom. And he's doing it because they laughed at him.
The Council won't ignore a defection this high profile. Prepare for diplomatic chaos. Callaway, we're about to become a lot less popular.
Outside the dry dock window, the fleet frames continued their silent assembly. But inside the lab, the nature of the war they were building for had just changed. The verification algorithms completed. Krelvox's data matched known probe intel perfectly, except for one encrypted file he hadn't mentioned.
Krelvox, what is Project Annihilator? Our decryption flagged it 5 minutes ago, It's a Vornak military protocol with a 3-day execution window.
I was going to tell you. It's the war plan my people laughed off when I warned them. They activated it the moment I defected.
Activated. You mean the Vornak fleet is already moving toward Earth?
12 battle groups. My defection gave them the excuse. They will arrive before your Tau SETI review.
The lab's strategic display lit up with projected Vornak fleet vectors, a hammer blow aiming for the human shipyard, timed to strike before the fleet could finish.
He used us to save himself, and now we're out of time.
Calloway, we're recalling every operational ship to defend the yard. That fleet of yours needs to be in space in 6 days, not 6 months.
We'll have to launch the half-finished hulls with skeleton crews. It's a gamble, but if we don't, there won't be an Earth to review.
The dry dock sirens began to wail. The last laugh's joke had just turned into a countdown to war. In the lab, Stephen overlaid Krell Vox's data on the tactical map. A narrow window for an ambush appeared, but it required Krell Vox to commit fully. Not just data, but active sabotage.
Krell Vox, your fleet positions give us a chance, but we need to blind them. I need you to jam their command signals during the battle.
Jamming them means I am personally responsible for every Vornak crew member who dies today. You ask me to become the butcher of my own people. 12 battle groups, that is thousands of lives. Is this the price of my asylum?
You sold us the ship that started this. Now finish it, or those 12 battle groups will finish Earth. There is no middle ground.
The dry dock shuddered as the half-finished cruisers powered up. Incomplete hulls flared with emergency lighting, their skeleton crews scrambling to stations.
Stephen, the Vornak fleet just executed a synchronized FTL jump. They'll be in weapons range in less than 4 days.
He has to choose now. We're out of options.
Send me the frequency protocols. I will blind them for as long as I can. May my ancestors forgive me.
In the yacht, Krellvox began loading the jamming sequence, his hands trembling. He had just betrayed everything his species had built for a people who had made his joke into a nightmare. Stephen loaded the jamming frequencies onto a tight beam burst, then turned to the tactical holos. The Vornak fleet had corrected course, its estimated arrival now 40 hours away.
40 hours. We're launching with 85% of our planned fleet, most of it untested. If Krellvox falters for even a second,
He'll do it. He has no way back. But can we trust his jamming to hold against 12 groups?
if I were him, I'd already be dead to my people. That might be the only thing that keeps him alive now.
The dry dock's massive doors yawned open. One by one, the half-finished cruisers pushed into the void, their patchwork hulls lit by starlight and the glow of half-installed weapon ports.
All commands. This is Admiral Tanaka. You are the last line. Hold formation until the enemy enters the ambush point. No heroics.
Maria, I am going aboard the Endeavor. If the jamming fails, I need to be where I can fix it.
That's a frontline cruiser. The hull might not hold under sustained fire. You are an engineer, not a pilot.
This fleet is my design. If it fails, I need to be there when it does. Keep the lab online. I'll need you to relay the Vornak movements.
The Endeavor powered up, its engines humming with the same frequency Stephen had retuned from the last laugh. He took the captain's chair, a wrench still in his pocket, and the fleet moved to intercept. 30 hours out, Krellvox fired the jammers. Vornak command channels drowned in static. Across 12 battle groups, coordination shattered.
I've just killed a fleet's ability to fight. Every cruiser is now isolated. Ancestors, what have I done?
Aboard the Endeavor, Stephen saw the Vornak formation scatter. Intership links severed, they drifted like blinded predators.
All commands, this is Calloway. The enemy is deaf and blind. Squadron leaders target their command ships. Hit them before they can blink.
Affirmative. All squadrons, weapons free. We don't stop until they retreat or they're scrap. Tanaka out.
Outnumbered but invisible, the human fleet glided through a debris field, half-finished hulls closing the distance with predatory silence.
Stephen, I'm reading a counter-jamming attempt. The Vornak are routing around Krellvox's signal. His window is collapsing. You may have only minutes.
We have to strike now, before they remember how to fight as one.
Engineer, they're adapting too fast. I am uploading a new jamming frequency. Sync your targeting, or this ends in disaster.
Human particle beams lanced from the darkness, ripping through the first Vornak cruisers before their shields could kindle. The void caught fire. The Vornak adapted. Shields flickered on across their remaining cruisers, and return fire tore through the human formation. 3 half-finished hulls shattered in seconds.
Squadron Alpha, fall back to secondary line. Endeavor takes point. We'll draw their fire.
The Endeavor surged ahead, its patchwork hull absorbing hits that rattled the bridge. Alarms screamed as armor plates buckled.
I built these ships to take a beating. Now we see if I was right.
Steven, the Vornak flagship is powering its main cannon. They're targeting the Endeavor.
I can't jam that. They're using a hardline backup. I'll overload my transmitter. It may kill me, but it will blind them for one volley.
Do it. All hands, brace for impact.
A pulse of white noise erupted from Krelvox's yacht, frying his systems. The Vornak flagship's cannon fired, and the shot sailed wide. Human torpedoes struck in that moment of blindness, gutting the flagship. The battle line broke. Vornak cruisers retreating in chaos.
Get damage reports, and someone find out if Krelvox is still alive.
Rescue shuttles found Krelvox's yacht adrift, its interior scorched. He lived, barely, his hands still fused to the console from the overload.
Get him to medical. He may be a traitor to his kind, but he saved ours.
The Coalition, stunned by the rout, called an emergency session. Earth's delegates demanded the Tau Ceti review proceed as planned.
They wanted a review. Now they'll get one. 90 cruisers, fully operational, and Krelvox will be there to see it.
Weeks later, at Tau Ceti Station, a grand hangar door opened to reveal 90 gleaming human cruisers in parade formation, each a descendant of one broken joke.
He stood in a viewing gallery, bandages still covering his burns, and saw the fleet he had inadvertently created. 400 years. We perfected that hull, and they improved it in 3.
You gave us the key, Krelvox. The rest was just engineering.
Then, let me be an engineer again, not a dealer. Let me help you build the next generation.
The Vornak Warship division collapsed within months. But in that moment, Krelvox made the only choice that could salvage a sliver of his soul.
Welcome to the Naval Yards, Engineer Krelvox. Your new design station is ready.
I will earn this. Not with credits, but with every scrap of knowledge I have left.
The original Last Laugh found its final birth in the Titan Memorial Museum, a glass atrium preserving its scarred hull for all to see. At its base, a plain metal plaque read simply, "Thanks."
He stood before the plaque, his reflection warped in the polished metal. They thanked me for the joke that destroyed my people.
It wasn't a joke. It was a lesson. You taught us everything your people knew, and now you are teaching us again.
In the weeks that followed, Krelvox traded his merchant robes for stained human coveralls, a wrench soon joining the toolkit at his belt.
For the first time in decades, I am not selling, I am building.
Come on, let's get some coffee. There's a balcony that overlooks the fleet. Best view in the system.
Together, they walked toward the lift, leaving the design bay behind. Above them, new cruiser frames took shape, a fleet built from a single, broken joke. The lift ascended through the museum's spine, past layers of history, until the doors opened onto a private balcony high above Titan's rings.
Best view in the system, like I said. The fleet drills here every evening.
I spent my life selling weapons. I never once stopped to watch them fly.
A low hum filled the air. Then, one by one, 90 cruiser silhouettes rose from behind Titan's curve, their formation perfect, engines bleeding thin blue light.
Every one of those hulls, born from my joke.
Born from your engineering, too. You just needed the right team to finish the math.
The cruisers began a slow barrel roll in perfect sync, a salute to the 2 engineers standing below.
Perhaps this is what a legacy feels like. Not sold, but earned.
Tomorrow, we start work on the next generation. I could use a senior consultant who isn't afraid to question everything.
And as the fleet disappeared over the horizon, the last laugh finally earned its plaque. Thanks, indeed. Silence returned to the balcony, broken only by the distant hum of the museum's environmental systems.
I used to think the galaxy was too big to change. Then you sold us a broken ship.
I sold you a reflection of my own arrogance. You simply polished the mirror.
Come on, Maria's running late-night diagnostics on the new propulsion array. She'll want your input.
My input, not my credits. I am finally in the engine room.
The lift doors closed behind them, carrying two engineers back to the work they were born to do, beyond the dome. The last laugh sat in its eternal cradle, a scarred monument to the moment everything changed. Plaque text: "Here rests the Vornak cruiser, last laugh, sold as scrap, returned as a lesson." And in the naval yards above, new cruiser frames glowed with the light of 1,000 welding torches, each one a tribute to the joke that backfired on a galaxy. The end. One standard year later, the Titan sky glittered with the light of 1,000 new stars. The fleet, now 300 strong, assembled for its first anniversary review. On the museum balcony, Stephen and Krell Vox stood as they had a year ago, coffee mugs in hand, the worn wrench still tucked in Stephen's pocket.
300 ships, and the Coalition just asked to license our design.
They want to buy what they once mocked. The circle closes.
A single cruiser broke formation, dipping its bow in a slow arc toward the museum, a salute to the scarred hull that had started it all.
A joke, they called it. A monument, they made it.
To the last laugh, then. And to the engineer who taught us how to laugh last.
The fleet turned as one, its glow illuminating the plaque below, where a single word still held the weight of two civilizations. And in that moment, the last echo of a prank faded into history, replaced by the hum of a galaxy that had learned to respect the quiet engineers.